Hi, it's Airfix and Chill on a Monday night. We've got 9 on the panel tonight. We've got a full house. And the questions we're going to be asking is... Oh, what's that noise?
That's apparently my phone not wanting to go on silent. I am sorry.
Yeah.
It's Dale
Apparently
warning you.
I apparently had hit turning off my Wi-Fi instead of the mute button on accident, and it was telling me that Moss is currently going live.
Fair enough. So, stashes is the question. So now we're going to talk about our stashes. And there's 3 main questions. Is why have you got a stash? When did it become a stash? And what's in your stash? So, three main questions. And I'm just going to randomly put it out there to who wants to go first. When did you get a stash? Who wants to go first on that one?
When I had money.
When you had money, was it? Is your stash quite big then, James?
Yeah.
Just yeah.
Well, put it this way. It started in one bedroom.
Yeah.
It moved into another, and then it's taken up residence on the bunk beds in another bedroom. And the outflow is in the workshop.
And do you have enough kits to satisfy your modelling self until death?
Yeah.
Is there any that you're never going to build?
I'll probably sell them on, but if I don't build them.
What is it that when you see, what is it that makes you buy a kit? What is it? Is it, do you actually build it with the thought to actually building it? Do you buy it, or is it just because you just want to have it and have a look what's inside the box?
Well, basically, Tamiya armor. Boom. I got it because, yeah, I can build it. It's essentially if your mojo is really low.
Yeah.
Because you're in an absolutely. I'm in a bad place with it. I can build a piece of armor. It picks me up a little bit.
Yeah, I get that. I do get that. I think everyone's modelling at some point in their life reflects on what's happening on the outside. Is you shut the door and then you just basically crack on and get on with the build, don't you? Away from it. And in your stash, have you got like piles of stashes where you've got like a pile which you're not ready to build and a pile that you're going to build this year, or is it just you go to the room and just pick one off the shelf and then build it?
My plan's fairly fluid.
Okay.
So it's whatever takes my fancy.
Fair enough.
So obviously I've now got access to the Yamato. So I can now get that out of the bedroom. So
also, is that the 1 to 200?
1 to 200.
Is that the one that Ozscale Modeling's building at the moment?
Yes.
And you're having a crack at that? Are you next?
Possibly.
Right. Fair enough. Yeah. Fair play to you, mate. Fair play. I don't think I could build a boat that big. I got nowhere to put it. It's yeah, definitely. Alex, my friends.
Oh,
hello. Who we got here? We got to add him to the stream. We got James now, so we've got all 10 people in. I don't know if anybody else is trying to come in, but if they are, let me know. I need to upgrade if I need to add more people backstage. Anyway, Alex, what's your stash basically of then? Have you got hundreds of kits? Is there any kits that you?
Yeah, I've probably got just about 600. I would say.
Oh, blimey!
So it started probably about 1995 or so. When I actually started working. So, like we said, when I got money.
When you got money.
Yeah, my ability to actually do kits was outstripped my ability to buy them. So plus interest in other things. So I think you can see this way. Behind here, there are a whole bunch of figures. 3D. I've got my 3D printers. So I'm actually in my man cave tonight rather than the office. So at the moment my stash is in about 25 big 70-litre boxes in the loft, and I've got a ScaleMate stash tracker and a big Excel sheet too. If I want to find a particular kit, I can do it fairly easily. So it's well categorized now, but it's way too big.
When my attic space was needed to be made into a part yoga room, I've actually put a lot of my stash up for sale, and I've got it priced high. Every so often I think I'm never going to build that, then I cut the price on it, and within a couple of weeks it's out. Is there anything that are you looking at selling? Is it like something that you think, if I need a bit of extra cash, that kit can go, this kit can stay, or you're not willing to sell any of it?
My ex suggested that, and it was that was a non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Then she became your ex.
And you're still together.
Absolutely, yeah. That's just like that's it. It's over. So no, I mean, to your question before, I do buy every kit I bought with the intention of building it. I've got a project in mind. There's various reasons why that doesn't happen or hasn't happened. And I say one of the reasons I started a channel was really for me to actually get some of this stuff finished, get it out there, and give me a bit of almost like a deadlines, self-imposed deadlines that I could then get through the stash. So unless they invent some strange anti-aging drug in the next couple of years, I am unlikely to get through it before I die. But we'll see. I'll have a go.
I like to point out that on a handful of occasions, I've sold kits a little bit priced high, not stupidly priced high, but more than average. And then I've realised that I've probably sold it too cheap, because they've replied saying I've been trying to find this kit, and because I sell it on eBay, they have this thing called the global shipping program. And some of them have sent, and I've said to them when I've sent it out, I've said, send me a picture when you've had it built. And I've had great joy in seeing somebody else build that kit that I've had in my stash for 5 years. So there's a lot to be said for that, I've given loads of kits away, I think there's a few people here on the chat that I've had kits in the stash and decided to just send them up a kit to build. And there is a pleasure in that, but there's also the pleasure of going up there and thinking, I've got that kit upstairs. It's like the Airfix Euro truck. I finally got it out of the attic, and in one of the shelves in my room, because that's one of the things I'm going to crack on with, is doing another truck. Because I had so much fun building that Revel one, the Aerodyne, that I want to do another truck. But have you got anything building at the moment from your staff? Are you just building what's that? Are you just building what you've got coming in?
No, I've so this little F35, little Airfix F35. That's, the last one, and I've got a couple of doors, a couple of Hot Wolf 190Ds.
Is that good, that door kit?
Let's see, I've got two. One is the Revel, which is the old Dragon kit, and the other one is the Tamiya. I'll give you one guess at which one was more enjoyable to build.
Tamiya.
Yeah, funnily enough, yes.
I lost.
The Dragon kit is really nicely detailed, but it's an absolute bitch to put together. As a lot of old Dragon kits are. Beautifully made, but each piece made without the consent or knowledge of the person who made the other piece. So they don't necessarily have anything to do with each other. So yeah, those are the main things. And then I've got a whole bunch of F-35s that I spent a long time at the weekend washing. So they're now ready to be constructed. So I think I'm going to have a huge batch of F-35 production.
Fair enough.
You'll be like Lockheed Martin here next week.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Right. Somebody's trying to get in. Does anybody know who's trying to get in? Because somebody keeps trying to get into the chat, and I don't know who it is. But I can only have 10 on, so the first 10 gets in. But
I'm leaving in about 20 minutes, so
yeah.
whoever
So
it is,
Captain VFC's leaving in about
fair.
20 minutes. I must get a green room, really, but I think it's more money in it to have a green room.
Yeah, you need a biscuit tin as well.
Yeah.
No, otherwise you get fed to the spiders.
Just
So
going back.
if I can have tea and coffee, that would be great. If you can supply that with these. We know that Airfix already do tea and coffee, so
Yeah. Just going into the chat a minute. We've had so many people. We've got 82 watching us live already. So maybe the stash has really hit people. But we've Bugler has said, my stash started as a Cold War RAF jets for a general RAF airfield in West Germany. The project is still in motion, but I must admit that it's diversified a little bit. 150 aircraft or scales. Fair enough. Wayne Welly said, I think my stash is around 40-ish kits and it's confined to a cupboard upstairs under the orders of the missus. I think we've all got that one. Wolf Ritchie,
Wayne's got a stash of 40 odd kits because we know what that kit's going to be. It's going to be Bismarck.
Yeah.
You're only missing the one on one scale, Bismarck, right?
Wolf Ritchie, only been modelling for a year and a half, and my stash is 200 plus and growing.
sounds about right.
I don't consider myself good enough to start most of them. That is the problem. That is also,
Just do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
it's a slippery slope. You want to just crack on with them. I did the same thing, and it's far better to do them. You can always buy another one.
Gavin Halewood has said, I have 5 completed kits, 1 ongoing and 15 still in boxes. Oh, you're just an amateur, mate. You're just an amateur.
I counted my stash before coming on.
Yeah.
It's a lot fewer than I think most people would expect of me. It's only 59.
Crumbs.
But
Have
I
you
do
got a moth problem.
none of them are tiger moths, which is bizarre. This is the first time I've been mothless from my stash for years.
Yeah.
A mothless stash. I will rectify that by buying a moth soon. Don't worry. Normal service will continue.
The Brewster Buffalo kit Moz reviewed might get me back into model making.
Oh, it's garbage.
You think it's garbage, do you?
Yeah, I took mine out and replaced it with a Hasegawa one because it's the only accurate looking Buffalo.
But it's the point of it is a vintage classic.
Good, then send it to the past.
And then, do you know, did you see the decal sheet on it? The decal sheet is pretty cool. I love that American scheme.
And if you like the American one, but you want a kit that actually looks like a Buffalo, the Hobby 2000 release has the same scheme.
Does it really?
Yeah, it's a standard US Navy pre-war.
Oh, fair enough. I was worried at just over 60 unstarted kits, so there you go. Is one there. Crazy Loco, I haven't filled up the 60-foot pole barn yet, but I have a rest of 3 acres to fill up to. History Vanguard, my stash is about 50 kits from 35th tanks to 72nd aircraft to 350. Kevin, all of our kits in the stash covered under contents insurance. Has anyone ever had to claim for a lost stash? Now, they would be under, if you've got buildings and contents insurance and you photographed your stash, they will have to, that will be covered under your business building contents insurance, and they will have to supply you like for like, as in, if the kit is a 1970s tooling, they will have to give you the money for the value of that kit now, believe it or not. But you have to tell them when you put your insurance in.
Does anyone have an Airfix tractor that I can borrow photos of and petrol and a lighter?
You know what? Yeah.
I've got the lighter.
I can supply petrol.
What about you then, Sully? What's in your stash?
Models, obviously.
How many have you got?
Thanks for joining, Sully.
That's all right. I know. I'm just concentrating on nothing.
He's going to have a look what's in his stash now.
Oh yeah, it's right next to me. 6, 7.
Oh.
Yeah.
He can
I'm
come.
underwhelmed.
Yeah.
He's had to take his shoes and socks off.
No, I purposely don't have a lot. Half the stuff in that stash are potentially stuff I probably won't build, but they were given to me. But there's a couple that are in there that I plan to build sort of like next, and then somebody else gave me something that I kind of want to build next. So when I tell you, actually one of those is actually for somebody else for me to build. So
Okay.
5.
So some of my kits have been around since I was, well, probably about a decade is probably the oldest one there. And it's not because I don't intend to make them, it's just because other things get in the way. And then I generally buy based on a theme. So I'll buy like a buffalo, and then I'll think, oh, I should go for a Zero or a Vindicator or something like that. And then before I've even made all of those, Airfix come out and release a Tempest. So then I go out and buy a Tempest, and then think, oh, I need another Typhoon to go with it. And that's kind of how it ends up building up. And I will make them, probably.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah.
Mm.
Who wrote that? Kit says loft insulation. Who's put that in the comment? I didn't see that. I must have gone past that one. But it doesn't. Yeah, kits in the loft is definitely giving a lot of insulation. But then again, kits in the loft means there's huge potential there of not getting your house back. You know what I mean? If there's a fire, you know what I mean. So you've got quite a small stash then, Sully, yeah?
Yeah, because it kind of stresses me out a little bit if I have too much. So
yeah,
I usually do when I work at a project. Probably about halfway through, I start thinking of what I'm going to do next, getting the stuff. So by the time I've finished, I'm ready to start the next one.
Yeah,
that's my usual. I mean, I think there's only been a couple of just sort of like, oh, sorry, I'm going to buy it because it's cheap.
Yeah,
Someone got it at a decent price, but generally it's what's going to come next before I bother getting anything.
Okay, fair enough. I are you more of like, because I know I've got a big stash and I've been very good at not buying too many more kits. Except that I always anything pre-order from Airfix I buy for the channel. Are you like me then that you like tools and paints and glues and stuff? Do you spend a lot of money on that side of it instead?
I probably spend. To be fair, I'll probably spend more money on upgrade kits.
Yeah.
to go with it, and I suppose it depends on the project at the time. Because I might so like the Ag when I did the Ag Panther a while ago.
Yeah.
Massive upgrade kits because I did the diorama for it, so all the sort of stuff that I didn't have, I got. But I generally will get stuff that will more likely be used again. If not, I'll try and find something else to make do with instead.
Yeah, fair play. Who have I? John, my friend, how many have you got in your stash? Because you're a little bit OCD as well, aren't you, my friend?
Yeah, I am. So I'm definitely at the low end. I was just looking, and I have 10 boxes, so I have 10 kits. I'm not a person that buys them, and well, maybe I'll get to it a little bit. I usually will just buy when I know I'm gonna, or I plan to build in the immediate future. Yeah, it would totally stress me out if I had, 600 kits. That's like a hobby store, and I would just go crazy. I want to start that. I want to start that. I want to start that.
Yeah,
so
that is exactly what I am like with my 59 kits.
Right. Yeah. I'd be the same way, probably with a couple dozen. So, yeah, I've got a couple of 135 sort of military armor fighting vehicle kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've got a couple planes. I've got a couple cars. This is my latest. This is my latest stash ad. I have never done a motorcycle.
Whoa.
So I asked Luke Ward at International Scale Modeler Group, and he highly recommended this one, and so I got this one, and so far it's absolutely lovely. I just put the engine together. I got some upgrade parts already, and I have a ship. I do have the USS Indianapolis, the one that's an academy as well. I have a 1/350th USS Indianapolis, and that's it. That's it. So,
yeah, madness.
Fair enough.
I am mad.
Yeah. Let's move over to James. Nice to see you, my friend. How are you?
Not too bad, mate. Thank you for asking me to come again.
Is that the horse there you're building?
Yeah, so at the moment I'm doing a little project for somebody, which involves 3 Horser gliders, 2 Waker gliders, and a C-47.
Is it this one?
It is, yeah.
Because I bought this one because Airfix released this one as well.
Yeah.
So this came 2 weeks ago. Because I said to myself, I'm going to build it. I'm going to buy the masks, and the masks are these ones by Peewit.
Yeah.
Recommend get the masks.
Too late. But yeah, all I would say with that kit is be careful of the wings.
Yeah. Are they a bit chunkier? Are they?
So no, the wings are fine. They go together well, but when they fit onto the fuselage, this back section here, they're a bit of a nightmare. Especially the older kit. Now I got one like you've got, one that's a little earlier release and one that's more recent. The more recent one fitted like a dream, absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
The other 2 pigs. But hey, good luck. So I've literally I might as well show you. It's just over there. 1 second.
Well, when you say the newer tooling, is it still by the same manufacturer? But they
same manufacturer,
right? Okay,
same manufacturer, but they've jiggled with the tooling.
Oh, nice Dakota.
So
that is nice.
So that's the Dakota. She's had all the decals put on.
Did you spray them on, or was that those strips, or they decals?
No, all the invasion straps have been hand painted. Well, airbrushed, but painted on.
Yeah.
I've not used any decals. The only decals are obviously the handles and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that clever.
What's the what makes that one then? What manufactures that one?
Atelieri.
Ah.
So yeah, really nice kit. Went together really, really well.
Yeah.
No complaints with it whatsoever.
Wow. Fair play. How many's in your stash? How many kits have you got in your stash?
Well, you're going to be really surprised by my answer. I've got none.
Don't believe you.
I've got none. And the reason I've got none is because the wife is watching, and I wouldn't let her secret out. No, I have got a stash. Yeah. I would say I haven't counted it for a long time, but I've got some in the loft. But in the model room that I've got here, I've probably got somewhere in the region of 25-ish, maybe. But there's quite a few more upstairs.
Fair enough.
So,
yeah, I thought like me. Sounds like me and Alex have got the biggest stashes going here because I've got at least 600 because I've got some up in the warehouse in the unit where I do my my eBay, and I've still got a loft full upstairs with a good 300 up there. So, and in this room, I counted tonight, and in this room alone, I've got just under 90. But then again, 30 of them are multiple buys from Aldi and Lidl for the starter sets, because I buy them in bulk to give them away. You see, so
yeah. I think the thing is, boss, is at the end of the day, for me, there are certain subjects, certain kits that I will go, I must have that. I want that. There's a few that I've taken a long time to find and eventually got one.
Yeah.
A classic example would be the Horsa Glider, funny enough, but in 1/35th. It's a kit I really desperately want, but I'm not desperate enough to pay 4 times the value of the kit. So I'll get it one day, but that'll go in the stash, and that'll be something I want to do at some point. But there's also a lot of stuff in the stash going back 6-7 odd years ago, where I wasn't in a position where I could just buy what I want when I want, and I bought a stash from someone, and it was really the only reason I bought it was because I wanted 2 of the kits that were in the stash. The rest I didn't care less about. I sold some, but some I've still got some. So that's one of the reasons why the stash upstairs is a lot bigger.
Yeah,
but I went through a phase where I could buy whatever I could when I could, and I'm now at a phase where I'm like, well, actually no, I've got a plan for the year of what I want to build, with a few other things that might pop in here and there. And I don't want to go and buy another kit to sit in a stash for several years or whatever. Most models will be around for a long time to buy, so it's not really a point. I mean, Wingnut Wings, I haven't got any of those kits because they were a little bit out of my price range when they were going. Now they're not going anymore. They're even more out of my price range. So
I think that is a key point, because I will often go out and buy. For me, it's like KP and AZ, where they sometimes are only out for one release or one version with those decals, and then that's it. They go. Whereas with Airfix, I think, it'll be back.
Yeah, I get that. The Hobby Time has just said he's been modelling for 56 years without a break, without a Kit Kat, and have 1,900 kits and aftermarket and deco sheets. Got all sorts of stuff. Wow, there you go then, mate. Hobby Time, you get a prize. You get a picture.
You must have another house.
We'll send him a picture of an empty shelf, because he's not seen an empty shelf for years. Like, you know what I mean? Brilliant.
Instead of a kitchen cupboard, boxes.
Yeah.
Instead of a bed, boxes.
Stuart Steele brought up a really interesting point. Really good point. The problem with a large stash is that they don't age well. The decals go off with time and the boxes get damaged. Not to mention being a fire hazard in the loft. I've got about 150, I think. You know, I just put it at the end, like, you know, he feels our pain. You're quite right. But, you know, they do yellow, but put them in a window, put a bit of a bend on the card. So what I do is when I try and get the yellow in out of mine, I put the cards up against the window, tape the bottom, then I push down on the top, give it a bit of a curve, so that if the window does get a bit damp, it's not going to wreck the decal. Then just put the tape up. But I bought this. This is a UV bulb, and the idea was to put this in my spray booth with the decal and leave the UV light to make them go clear again. 7 days later, fuck all happened. It was a waste of money. So, is there a special UV light, or this says it's UV? So what is it? Why is it has to be the sun? I don't know. You know, so everybody can answer.
Not strong enough.
UV is not the same.
I've seen people use like the UV.
Well, it depends on the UV light.
So you
but
things, and that works.
But the UV light that you buy is not the same as the sun. Otherwise,
what
you
you
can't
saying
buy
then?
it due to cancerous properties.
And
What
it
about
causes
sunbed?
cataracts.
What about
And
sunbed?
UVB
Yeah,
causes cataracts.
sunbeds are also very bad for you, so don't do it.
Could you put your decals in a sunbed?
That's what I mean. Is there
Yeah,
like a
yeah, definitely. That might work.
No, I don't know. I'm
That-
just trying to. What if you can buy the actual UV light that actually does? Somebody let me know because I've got a box upstairs of decals, and also that stuff from micro industries is very good for whips. Is very good for repairing.
Yeah, the stuff that looks
decals.
like microset.
Yeah,
People are going to turn up next week, and Moz is going to have the most eye-wateringly brown tan, and he's still going to be complaining about bloody yellow decals.
I'm going to look like. I'm going to look like.
Can I
like
just
the,
can I just jump in a second and ask you, Moss? That UV light you bought, that wasn't a Humbrol UV light, was it?
I bet it came in a flappy box.
Yeah. And otherwise, he made a flappy box himself.
I do know that people have reported having good results with the the UV light that you like put your nails underneath to like cure like the homemade stuff for curing like nail polish and stuff. Apparently that works perfectly fine for taking the
Is
yellow
that the
out.
one? Is it? Okay. Well,
Apparently.
I do have a UV light. Well, the wife has, I should say. A UV
Right,
light.
yeah.
Maybe I should start using that. Then.
Issue a requisition order.
I wanted a way of doing it quicker because leaving it in the sun, even though I live in one of the greatest, in the southwest where we are famous for our hot days and beaches and melted ice cream. We have days on like a light switch. We have some days we have no light at all, and then some days we have a lot of sunlight. So, but I can see that being a thing. Just moving down, Ninja on the Airfix Typhoon Mark 1B. Do you use the giant invasion stripes or do you paint it? Oh, good question.
I painted mine.
You painted yours
on
the Tempest. On the Tempest, I used the decal sheet and they went down fucking lovely. I was really happy.
Yeah, but they look a bit weird if they're perfectly straight.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
you must
I think
paint them.
you need to kind of wobble them a little bit, get it a bit rough.
Yeah,
I don't
they were
believe that
slapped
because
on the real one.
Yeah, but
the real one was slapped on as well.
Yeah, but my argument with that is that on a 1 to 72 scale, you wouldn't see the wobbles and stuff. They would be
if you look
straight.
at pictures.
Yeah.
I am going to head off here. So
okay, mate. No worries.
Thank you for this brief interlude with me.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. Nice
fun.
Nice seeing you,
Have a
my
nice
friend.
life.
I don't know why you need to practice. You practice every Saturday, don't you?
No, we've got a gig on Thursday, and we've only played. This is my covers band. We've only played once in the last 6 months.
So your covers band will be playing "Don't Look Back in Anger," "Don't Stop Me Now," all the good covers,
Have you been looking at our set list? So I don't think anyone. No, it's more indie stuff. But anyway, yes, gotta go. So I'll see people around.
No worries, mate.
Bye.
Take care.
Take care, buddy.
Bye. Right. Where was I going to go to next? I was going to go over to Dave's because you don't have a stash, do you? Because you're very regimented. As soon as you get a kit in, you build it, don't you, mate?
I do, yes.
Yeah, you don't keep stashes, do you? You basically you buy what you want and you build.
If I like it and I can afford it, I buy it and I build it. This is one that I built ages ago and never got around to finishing it, so I thought, get it out the dust cupboard.
Yeah, fair enough. Crazy Locker says, "Hi, Crazy Locker. Nice to see you, my friend. Bless you. I saw all the flash all over the place on Modern Buffalo. You didn't see any flash at all. It was I think they've cleaned it all up because I've watched videos of that Brewster Buffalo being built previously, and the glass is terrible. There's a hell of a lot of flash on it. I think they've either retooled the glass on that Buffalo, or they've really cleaned up that tool. Because to be fair, if you watch the video, it looks peachy. I don't think there's a lot of work to be done to get that looking all right. So yeah. Anyone here bought the Brewster Buffalo kit yet? I have. Link in description. But there are some big birds: the B-52 Nimrod, Tu-95 Bear, and all of the 3 bombers. That's your stash, isn't it? 15 all aircraft, mainly 172, but a few 48s and the 132nd. Fair enough. My stash full of Mossing 510 recommendations. 90% Airfix. Yeah, I think a lot of people have a lot of Airfix kits in their stash. That's a good question. So I know you've got Revel, haven't you, Rorex? You haven't got a lot of Airfix, have you, in your stash?
I don't have a stash. At least my therapist says it.
What's your stash consist of?
Yeah, I got a lot of Airfix and I got a lot of Revel and a lot of very old kits. I can have a small look at what the brands are. It's luckily nicely on ScaleMates. I got 295.
Yeah.
And some of them are still in build. Revel 94, Airfix 64, Italeri 28, Hasagawa 21, Matchbox 18, Heller 7, something like that, and a few miscellaneous other stuff.
Fair enough. You're getting through them though, bit by bit, innit? Week by week. You haven't bought a kit recently, have you?
Recently, I've bought a Su 27, 2-seater and a single-seater, MiG 29 2-seater and another 2-seater, Mil 8, Mil 24.
Wow.
And the topic will be Ukrainian, of course. And a few miscellaneous because a local mate of mine wanted to get rid of all his kits for €3 a piece, and those were all different stuff.
€3 a piece, crumbs.
That's and there was a Hawkeye in it, and there were a few F-16s in it, and stuff like that.
Fair enough. Crazy Locker's got 65 and only one Airfix Spitfire in all that. Well, fair play to you, mate. Fair play. But is there like other Spitfires, Revel Spitfires, or whatever, Tamiya Spitfires? Hobby Barn's in. Hi, Hobby Barn. Hope you're well. I hope you've reached your 1,000 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed to Hobby Barn, we want to get him up to 1,000 subscribers. So go over and subscribe to his channel. Going down through Hobby Time. Thanks for the Attacker recommendation regarding medium sea grey last week. Looks good when sprayed out. Cheers. Is that the acrylic or the lacquer? Because Attacker lacquers are brilliant if they're mixed right. They're a little bit better than Tamiya lacquer, to be fair. Moving down through, Celtic saying hi to Terry. Dominic, I build everything: aircraft, all scales, tanks and vehicles. I have about 350 in total. That is without resin and all the extras. Crumbs, yeah. Quite a bit there. Have I asked everyone now? Oh, we got Tam in. Tam's in the house. Yeah. Hi, Tam. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm doing something I haven't done for a while, and actually building a 48 scale Spitfire. Airfix, of course, because Airfix and Chill. So I've built a lot of 72nd scale ones in the last year, but I've not done a 48 scale one, other than the one that sat for a year in Decal.
Yeah, is it still in Decal, that one?
No, I actually turned it into a diorama, a crash diorama. So
well done.
That's been done for a few months. I did that on my Friday night stream. So that's been done. I think just before Christmas I finished that up.
Nice to see you back, mate. We haven't seen you for a good few months.
Oh, mate, I've got so much going on channel-wise, videos. We've got an 80th anniversary Dam Busters video coming out tomorrow night, hopefully, because it's still not finished. So we're going to be working through the night, editing and building and making sure that's ready to upload. The premiere is set to be at 10 to 12 GMT tomorrow night.
Wow.
So that it starts on the 16th and it finishes on the 17th, just like the raid did. So if you want to set your watches for that, then please do come along and join us for that. That'll be fun.
How many's in your stash then? What have you got in your stash?
About 100, but I've told myself that I'm not allowed to buy any more until I'm down under 25 now. So,
right, okay.
I've told myself that. However, we have been adding new ones because there's lots of 109s online. So, what can I say?
Well, the last kit I bought kits this week because I've seen some bargains, but this just shows you. Matt from Model Minutes did a video about the Lightning EE patches that I had made. These are the Lightning EE patches. So if you build a Lightning, I send you a patch, and Rorex got his this week.
Finally.
And 3 times I sent that patch to you. 3 times. So anyway, now you've got it, which is good. But
one of his clones intercepted them before.
Yeah,
put 2 of them on eBay. Matt from Model Minute is building a Lightning now because I gave him a patch already because I saw him and I gave him one. But he's going to be building this 1:100 scale Lightning from Tamiya. Nice.
And it's a 1960s kit, but it's like 1990s tooling. It's not recessed panel lines and stuff. It's actually a very, very good kit. So there's it. It's in a packet that size. So he's going to build it. But me being me, I saw it and I thought, I like to have a look at that because you can pick it. A lot of people send for about 13 quid. There's a guy on eBay selling for £4 each. So I bought 1, I bought 2, I bought 3. I've got 3 more to add to the stash. But if anybody wants one, give me a shout. I'll send them one.
Send me the link for him.
1:100 scale. But you reckon they're brilliant. So
awesome.
Anyway, so we've got. It's anyone here. So if it isn't, let's go a little bit away from stash. Anyone here? If they see a model tool, they've got to buy it.
No.
No? Wingsy BF 109E3. That is the greatest 109 kit on the market. So yeah, if I see it anywhere, then it doesn't matter how many I've got on my stash. I'll snap one up just because
What make is it again?
Say again, sorry.
What make of plane is it?
It's the Wingsy kit, BF 109E3. It's
Wingsy kit.
Yeah, I think it's the best tool 109 on the market.
Even better than Airfix is.
Yeah, even better than the Airfix E7, and that does take a lot of beating because it's a great 109 kit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is even better than that. So as somebody who spends a lot of his time making 109s, I can confidently say that is the best 109 kit on the market.
Yeah.
Highly recommended to anybody who likes doing 109s like myself.
Fair enough. William Thomas, you built an Airfix E-Light a few months back. Send me a picture. Email address is in my about section. Send me your address. I'll send you out a patch. If you built the Lightning, I'll send you out a patch. I had 100 made. I think I've got about 7 left. So, but the new challenge comes out in a few months. The women's, we've done the test print on the Concord challenge woven patches I've had made. So that's all good. So I'm just finishing off my Concord now, so I can have one of those patches. This is a tooling that I actually had in my stash for a long time, and I thought, what can I do for a challenge? And I thought we'll do a Concord challenge because I think this is a tooling that needs to be retooled by someone. Revels is old. Airfix is 1977. It's 1977 tooling. Don't get me wrong, it does go together okay,
I've used very little filler on this, even though there was a big ridge at the top here. I scraped it back and then sanded it, so I didn't use any filler on this at all. But it's old. It's an old tooling, but it's gone together all right. The decals are these old, what I call matte decals. You've seen that they're quite matty, but bugger, do they go down well? Very little only micro set on that, and then on the doors I had to use micro. Then I had to use a bit of micro sole on that door, but for what it is, it's a good bit. So, when if I see what's it called, a tool that I haven't got, or something I think I can use for scale modeling, I will buy. For instance, on Amazon, these are little sanding sticks, but as you notice, they're only sanded, and they've got the sanding bits at the end, like little matchsticks. And this one's 400. I had to write on there 400 to 800 grit. But I've been using these just to get into little knotty corners and just to sand things with. But I wonder if anybody else has to buy something. If something gets recommended, do you go and buy it?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the tools I use are, I see on like your videos or James's videos from LPJ or Matt or plethora of other great model making YouTubers. So a lot of the stuff I use is on recommendation from a lot of guys I watch. Like Night Shift, Plasmo, and John and everyone else. So
yeah, okay.
Well,
what about you, Alex?
Sorry,
go on, Dave. What did you say?
I was going to buy a 3D printer on your recommendation, but after I saw your pegs, I thought, no, I better not.
I never fucking recommended that. You can fuck it off. I never recommended it. There is a link to buy one on my channel, but I didn't recommend it. I did not recommend it.
Oh, dear.
I'm not getting blamed for that.
Sensitive type.
I've still got it on my desk. Now the next thing I've got to film is that 3D laser printer that I've been given to cut wood. I'm going to do a video on that one. That's I've been learning to use the software.
Is it a cut or is it just an etch?
No, it's an actual cut. It cuts through wood.
Cool.
I'm so jealous.
He's just waiting for the Sean Connery impersonator to agree to appear on it.
Is it Humbro?
No, it's not Humbro. It's Ota. It's Ota. But I'm learning to use the software first. So I'm learning because the software is quite complex. So I learned the software. Then I'm going to make my own little tool hobby thing, if you know what I mean, to hold paints and paint brushes and hairy sticks and stuff. So that's but I do like a tool. I really do like a tool. If there is one available, I buy it. So like I said, I did the review of those Voltrans sprue cutters, and 3 or 4 people have now responded saying they bought them and they're brilliant. For 35 quid, I think they are fantastic sprue cutters. So, can we get away from this Humbrol printer bollocks? You know what I mean? It's like it's every live stream you mention this bloody. Honestly, I don't work for Humbrol. I would love them to if Humbrol said to me, "Would you be a consultant?" I would probably say yes and help them out, but they've got their own battles. But all I will say is that I think they're getting somewhere with the starter set paints, because I've built a few models now. You have as well, haven't you, Alex? You didn't think the paint was that bad, did you, on those starter sets?
I think you're confusing me with someone else, Moss.
You thought they were crap, did you?
It depends. I mean, like we said before, that white in the Mary Rose was shockingly bad.
Yeah, but
the gunmetal was fine. So yeah, it's really difficult to tell, because you get I've got some starter paints here. know, silver here and a red. I mean, the red looks a bit dodgy, whereas the silver looks okay. So it's a bit difficult to judge them when they're not really what they sent out from the factory. But then it is Airfix's responsibility to make sure they do. So.
But they're replacing them just like that. Yeah, they do. If you email them your batch number from that model kit, they will send you out the right paint.
Which kind of like, I mean, that must cost them a lot, right? Rather than getting it right in the first place.
Yeah.
So,
but that's something that the trouble is that they're working on it, you know, and what everybody keeps saying that Humbrol and all that are like the same brand. They're owned by Hornby Hobbies, but they're all run like startups. Do you know what I mean? They're all separate entities, you know. And you know, when I shared the story before, but you know, I was after some British Racing green paint to do the E-Type Jag, and I wanted a spray can, and I emailed them, and they said we've discontinued British Racing green across the board. We do have a few tinlets left of enamel, which was going to be banned anyway, because this was before they brought the ban in for the Midco, whatever it was in there. And I just put my head in my hands and I said, you are joking, because 3 weeks previous, you had Airfix announce a brand new E-Type Jag in British Racing Green, and Humbrol discontinuing that. Yeah, you know, you can't make this shit up. You know what I mean? And then I get an email. They go, oh yeah, we're not discontinuing British Racing Green. But you ask anyone if you wanted to, if you had a car, the Humbrol British Racing Green spray can was beautiful to go on. I used it. That's what I wanted. I used the British Racing Green. It was fantastic. Went down like a dream. So, yeah. Somebody just said the question about a group build. Well, yeah, we could use the Concorde as a group build. If you want a group build, we can do a group build. And whoever builds the Concorde, you got to send me the box art before picture, and then the finished picture. I'll send you out a woven patch for your charge. So if you want to make that an Airfix and Chill group build, well, mostly most models is actually because the badges are got mod 651 models on it. But if you want to build a Concorde, then that's the point. You know, it is kind of a group build. So if you want one, then just build a Concorde, anyone. But if you wait, because I do have an announcement about the Concorde when I actually give out these, when I start to give out these badges, woven patches, because I was talking to Dale and he was going to look at giving me a discount code on the Airfix Concorde. So if you want to build one, you can, if you wait, you'll be able to get the discount code going, hopefully going to come to me so that you can get a cheaper Concorde to build, which is the first, is it the first and last? I think it's what they've called it, which is like, you know, the, it comes as a gift set. It's got all the paints and everything. But, yeah. Bish, yeah, when the patches come, as long as I get a picture of the Concorde and write your name on it and stuff, like so you're proving that you have built it, then you can have a woven patch. So yeah, it's all good. And have you lot built a Concorde before? Has anybody here built a Concorde, or is it just me?
Not yet.
No, I mean I've been thinking about it, but you know, all the kits seem quite ancient, so I don't know. But I mean, I thought about it because I saw you doing. I think was it the Revel Concorde?
No, I did the the one I did build. The first one I built was the Airfix Vintage Classic Concorde, which was made from the prototypes. This one here, well, that was done 1966. This one was 1977 tooling, which is what I'm on the process of finishing off this week. I'm almost done now. This is almost just got to put the undercarriage on. All the decals are on and everything. This is the box. This is the box. So you can see I've had it a few years. So it's that one. I will hopefully get that finished this week. the woven patches have been designed, which is great. I don't know if I've still got the. I don't know. I've got the PDF here anywhere. I don't think. But yeah, so the woven. I've actually put them on my YouTube channel. Actually, if you want to look at if you go to my YouTube channel, you can see the pictures of the woven patch. They've been created. They've had a test print, and the test print's gone really well. I've gone for gold writing. So the woman who made these for me, these are round, because I couldn't get the Concorde to fit in a round one. We've gone for a nice pentagon shape with the Concorde in it. So yeah. So if you if you've done a lightning, give us a shout. I've got about 7 of these. I don't want to get any more printed because, believe it or not, these patches cost me £3 each. So and then to ship them out, these have gone to Amsterdam. They've gone to Australia. These patches have gone to. I think a couple went to Thailand. We had a couple of viewers on Thailand. So yeah, it's but yeah, any Concorde, any scale, any size. If you want to build one, and you get a patch, so you can make that be your group build if you like. It'd be interesting. Yeah, so yeah, email or Discord, whatever. Bish63. I'm not on either. Do it through email because my email address is in the about section. So, but so none of you guys Alex, have you built a Concorde yet?
Nope.
Plan to?
I hadn't, but given your patch, I may well consider it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I must give you the details of that bloke in India as well. But try and I use Fiona because I've been known her for years, but she does a really good job. But they are patches aren't cheap. But the reason I started doing them was because I found out I bought a monogram kit and they had woven patches in the kit, and I was blown away. I thought, what a great thing to have. And Airfix do the flight tags, don't they? So I thought, what can I do? I'll do a woven patch. But yeah. Whereabouts in England are you, Moz? I'm in the southwest, mate, just past Bristol. Where am I to? Alex, do you live near Tunbridge Wells? I work in an aviation bookshop there and would be happy to give you a discount.
I don't, but I could always travel.
Yeah. Mark,
no, actually, I'm not that far from Ross, actually.
Yeah.
I'm in the southwest as well, but in Dorset.
Dorset. Yeah. Oh, Dorset. Let's oh, come on.
I'm not from Dorset, but like Ross, I came here together.
Yeah. It's a great place to live down in the southwest.
It's grim up north.
It's grim up north, isn't it?
I did my time.
Yeah. Wayne Welly says, no, but my son nearly bought it. No, that's fair enough. Yeah. Actually, I could do that now. If I go to slides, can I put a PDF on here? Upload file. Can I upload the file here? There you go. Open. I think I can do it. Is that working? Yeah, it's processing. I was processing it. There you go. Actually, that's the patch. Because I designed it, and then that gets shipped. But the image gets shipped to India, and then they do their maths and everything, and because it's got to be woven, obviously. And they came back with that, and I think the gold really striking on that. Actually, to be fair, I went for white first. This will be a darker blue. Basically, this is the colours they set, but you actually go by the thread colour. So if you've got a darker red, use a darker red. But I think that looks pretty cool for a woven patch. Does anybody else agree? You'd want one of these, wouldn't you?
That's very nice.
Yeah. Dorset and North Devon, you're both
do.
northerners. Wayne Welly, I've been to Devon, but for the railway experience of the Polar Express. Yeah, that's down in where's it to? Well, down on the coast, I think. What's that say? Are you redrawing the Typhoon tonight, Alex? Is that a question to you?
It is, yeah. And no, I'll be doing that on a live stream later this week.
So you've got a prize, have you? Is there a Typhoon up for grabs, is there?
I have 132nd Eurofighter Typhoon. Twin-seater. Massive great thing.
Pick me.
Yeah, I drew it at the beginning of the month for my patrons and channel supporters. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to get in touch with the person who was drawn. So going to be redrawing it. And if they do get in touch, I'll give them a different kit.
Oh, fair play. I did that with that Mosquito that I had signed by Pramajit, the designer of it. And the person who won it didn't claim it either, so I've still got it here. So I'm thinking of redoing that. Do it on a live stream. Yeah, but we could. I want to post it. Here you go. Super chat me if you want to win this kit. Yeah. So, where's that Dan Usher? The land with too many people and not enough surnames. Oh, that's Wales. That is. They're all Smith and Jones up in Wales, aren't they?
Jones the miner.
Jones the butcher.
Jones, they're not called Jones.
yeah.
Jones the Jones.
Yeah, there was I knew a couple that there was Jones 2 arms and Jones no arms. There was a Mr. Jones had no arms. Yeah, the Jones 2 arms, Mr. Jones no arms. Wayne Welly, one shop I've been itching to want to visit just over the bridge is Jadlam. That's somewhere where I would like to go. Tigers is Cornish. He celebrates. He goes to the city of Cornwall every Saturday or every other Saturday to watch football. I think Tigers does. Jadlam in Glastonbury. It's not got the full range. Oh, okay, fair enough. But they do everything, don't they?
I like Jadlam. I get a lot of my stuff from them online, to be honest.
Do you really?
Yeah, you know that when you buy them from them, you're getting you maybe slightly increase the price by £1, maybe a couple of quid. But you know it's going to get it within like 2 or 3 days. You know it's going to be parceled and packaged well. You know there's going to be no damage to it, and you know it's going to be a quality service. It's like I allow models in Edinburgh as well. When I buy from them, you know you're going to get the same sort of service.
Who's that from? Wonderland Models.
Yeah, in Edinburgh, they're probably the biggest and the best model kit retailer in the UK for me, anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, like going in there, it's like rows and rows of model kits.
They always do massive sales at shows, don't they? Wonderland.
Yeah, Telford. They take the whole shop in Telford, don't they?
I know I've got quite a few kits there that I've never intended to buy, but I think there's a 132nd. What is it? The Phantom. Massive, great thing. Not my kind of thing at all. But I think it was like £15 or something, and I'm just like, when am I going to see that again?
Yeah,
that's what I got. It's actually a really nice kit.
I've got to slide off, Mosk. I've got to go and pick
this up. Very nice to see you. Pleasure seeing you again.
Yeah,
I'll be
back soon
this week. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Oh, buddy, take care. Bye.
Bye. See, when it comes to online, I've got to say I get a little bit blown away with e-models. I just like the way they talk to you with emails and stuff. You know, when you buy some of e-models, you get a certificate. Number 1 scale modeler. You know what I mean? This little email signature. But no, I try to support Buffers Model Railway, and also this week, Mark Thompson of Plastech, I did the tour. I did the factory tour where they were making the Airfix 124 scale Spitfire. He's now opened up a model shop. I think it's called Model Wax or something. So,
is that the one that's right next door to it?
Yeah, right next door to Plastech. He set up a Model Works, I think it's called. They helped the opening in June, so I might go up to the opening of that. So, is Dan going now? Is he? Nice seeing you, Dan, mate. Thanks for dropping in. Stay classy yourself, mate.
Night, Dan.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Jad, still not shipping to mainland Europe. No. Like I was talking to the lads when I built this Concorde. If you can see that, I sprayed the white on, then I sprayed the black. But for me, that's a very crisp line. And it's because I've been told of this tape called Niche Iban, masking tape, Niche Iban. I'm just go bigger a minute so you can. Hopefully you can see what the. It's called Niche. I was upside down. Niche Iban, right? And I was told this is the best masking tape out there. Over Tamiya. So I bought those, and they said shipping from eBay was £2, but because of all the issues they're having, I had to pay 11 quid shipping to get it done through FedEx. Because all of them are having troubles with shipping abroad at the moment. Everyone is. I got dam busters to go to my friend Jason in Australia. The one that came with the Airfix coin. To ship that kit, because Royal Mail can't touch it in a minute. The cheapest I've found is £72.
Wow.
72
quid
to ship to Australia, this kit.
But it will be in a golden van, right?
Mm.
Yeah, must be that fucking price. Jeez, oh.
I said to him, I want it shipped with a lady. Do you know what I mean? It's expensive, man, to ship at the moment. One of the not gonna lie, one of the worst things about Brexit is everything. I got shipped something the other week from Europe, and then UPS. This is what gets me. UPS say, "Oh, you've got to pay £35 for this because you owe some VAT." And the VAT is like £8, but they take a £27 processing fucking fee. That's just licensed to print money, isn't it?
It's disgusting.
That processing fee outweighs the cost of any VAT the government are getting. I don't think that's right, but Royal Mail do it as well. They charge this £20 processing fee, don't they? That's not fair.
They're all fleecing bastards. They should all wear a mask.
You got caught with that as well, though, didn't you?
Yeah, but that was from Deutsche Post, I think.
Yeah.
DPD or whatever it is.
Yeah, but you got paid that.
Yeah, and they tried charging me 60 quid. I just didn't reply to the messages. It's like, fuck you. It's not my fault. You're charging me to deliver, so up yours.
Did you lose all that money though?
No, I didn't pay them the bloody thing. I just ignored them, and they've done nothing. They stopped sending me letters after the third one when they realised I obviously wasn't going to pay.
You didn't have to pay.
No, I got the stuff. I'm not paying the extra. No way. If they're not intelligent enough to put it on at source, where I can see what I'm paying for, that's a different thing. Because then either I make the load smaller, so I can afford what I'm paying extra for, or I order it from somewhere else. But if they put it on afterwards with no hint of the fact it's going to be on there at all, then fuck them, basically. That's them problem, not me problem.
Yeah. Just looking now down through. Yes, Miss Mother, lovely to see you, Lexi. I hope you're safe and well. It's a washi tape, yes. But I found it to be better than Tamiya. Just saying, it was really, really good stuff. It's the same way the other way around. I stopped buying outside EU unless I have to, or they have a EU storage house. Crazy custom costs. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely one of them. David Redding, currently 50, but I'm selling a load off. You can't sell them off. Others can ship Hannon's Kingpin PM models, but at what price? At what price? It's expensive. So you're saying you can understand why it's not worth ordering from the UK? It isn't. It's so expensive at the moment.
Even within the UK, it's expensive.
Yeah.
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 I never thought I'd say this, but thanks, Jeff Bezos. Thank God for Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon's pretty good. But then again, they don't pay any tax to our country, so they're shafting our country big style, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Get to laugh at their rocket.
No, I never thought I'd say thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, it's time for a can.
Yeah, they did lose loads of money on the Rings of Power, so
Yeah. Well, that's what got me. Do you remember I was advertising that £3.99 or £2.99 Mr. Craft kit? Right? And that's what it cost. From Amazon, £2.99, right? That when I got the tracking for that little kit came from Germany.
Yeah.
And I only paid £2.99.
You know, I posted some bits to Miss Modeler, and in a box that was purpose designed to go through a letterbox.
Yeah.
And the Royal Mail, I sent my girlfriend to do it, but they charged, I think it was like £5 to send it, because they said, "Oh, that won't go through a letterbox."
Yeah,
it's designed to. It's just like outrageous.
Yeah. No, I ship a lot anyway, so you can here's one for you. Like, so small parcel is 45 by 35 by 16. And I had a poster, and I put the poster in a tube, and it was longer than 45 centimeters. But if you twisted it, it would fit because it'd go angle to angle. So I put it in a bag the size 40 by 35, wherever it was. And when I got to the post office, they got a box there on the post office thing. And it says, if it fits in this box, it can go as a small parcel. So I chucked it in the box, and then it fitted angle to angle. And then the woman looked at it, measured it, and said it was like 47, and she would let me send it. Do you know what I did? I went over to the sorting office, gave it to them, they scanned it in, and off it went. It's Royal Mail, isn't it? You know? Yeah, so it's all good. Mac Models, Bozza, hiya Mac. Oh, who's come out of the chat? Alex has come out of the chat, has he? Where did you go?
Don't know, it just stopped.
Yeah. So as I said, I put it in angle, and she wouldn't let it, but you know, but the post office can be funny like that. But they need to get a grip anyway. I think we won't see many post offices unless they embrace every single courier to send stuff. You know, so what's that? I have that kit on the model bench right now. Which kit's that? And thanks for the tip. Any questions in the chat you want to ask us? You fire them out to us. HJL still works. And what was that again? I missed that comment. I just lost a comment then. HLJ still works for oddball Japanese stuff.
Yeah, Hobby Link Japan. Yeah, they're pretty good.
Are they pretty good? Are they?
Yeah. At least here to the US, anyway. Yeah.
I think to the UK the shipping is usually way more than the kits.
What, for Hobby Link Japan?
Yeah.
All right. Just going on. That's what you want to say on the chat. Chili Billy, greetings from a pond. I mean the Mr. Craft Cobra kit. Yeah, it's a crap kit. Don't build it. It's shit. When are you completing your full transition to Smurf mods? No, I'm just wearing blue gloves now because I get a bit dermatitis. on my hands, so I'll be wearing gloves. I've got Mr. Craft Pogo that I want to start, but put off by the reviews in that. Mr. Craft's terrible. Mr. Craft is terrible. Why is orange jam called marmalade?
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know why it is.
That's my favorite, man. Orange marmalade and fig jam.
Yeah, I like peach marmalade. That's the best. Has somebody got me in the background? I keep hearing an echo. Has anybody got me live?
Not me.
It ain't me.
Right,
Nope.
got me with an echo. Stop now. Yeah, the Blue Man Group.
I've been hearing it the whole time.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh dear. Fair enough. We'll have to look into that. Why it does that?
Somebody got it on speaker and microphone.
Probably. Alex, did you do our latest podcast yet? Is that what ended up going live this week?
It will do. I haven't edited it yet.
Yeah, I edited it. You know, well, I can't remember what we talked about. What were we talking about?
Stash.
What did we talk about?
What did we talk about?
Postage.
Oh, golden age of modelling.
Oh yes, the golden age of modelling. We're in it. We're in the golden age of modelling now, folks. It was a good. Actually, now think about it, that was a good chat. Actually, wasn't it? We discussed quite a bit that night. We've done quite a bit. We've done quite a bit that night. Picked up the 1-48 Hasegawa Phantom with Airs resin for 25 quid. That's not bad, actually. That's a good kit, that Phantom, isn't it? Who's built that kit? Anyone who built that kit?
No.
No one's built it?
Nope.
No.
I got a Ravel Phantom, by the way.
Yeah.
I do have a Hasegawa Phantom, but they're the
Oh yeah, they're the eggshell,
eggplanes, yeah.
Eggplane.
So not quite the same.
Not. Oh, we got somebody from deep south of Ontario. Was that Kazakhstan? Kazakhstan. Appreciate your video. Appreciate your video on the classic Brewster Buffalo. One I'll be keeping my eyes peeled for. Do you struggle to get Airfix kits over in the States, Fenris?
Yeah. Actually, my daughter just bought a new one at Hobby Lobby over the weekend. So
they're quite easy to get hold of. What did you pay for that?
Well, it's labeled $9.99, but they had a sale going, and we had some coupons, so I think it came out to like $4.99, something like that.
Really?
$5 USD, yeah.
Wow.
But again, that's with all those deals and everything. So.
Yeah, my local hobby store has them.
Because people, when I hear people say, "Oh, we can't get it," I suppose there's a delay from when it's released in our country to when it gets to the States.
Well, I saw a lot of the the new ones that they've released this year within a week at my local hobby shop. So yeah, I've heard people say that about over here, and it baffles me because I swear I see Airfix all over the place. So.
Oh, fair. Have you actually? So, what was your last Airfix build, Fenris?
My last one, I think it was the Vampire. About a month or so ago.
Yeah,
that sounds right. I mean, I've been slowly working on the 124th Hellcat and the 148 Meteor, but they're not done yet, obviously.
How's the Hellcat for you? Was that a good kit?
It's been going pretty well so far. I mean, I'm only like a few stages in, but it's been going together pretty good. I'm quite enjoying it. So, I'm hoping here soon to also be able to grab the 124th Spitfire because it just looks like a gorgeous kit. So
yeah, I've got one on my shelf next to my 1/72 scale Avro Vulcan B2 that I need to get looking at and building and playing with.
Terry, you have a good one, mate. Take care.
Is Terry going now, is he?
Yes, mate.
Bless you, Terry. I hope you get breathing treatment time. Yeah, bless you. I hope you get to that 1,000 soon, mate. I hope you get to that.
Bye, Terry.
1,000 soon. Jared, you need a car to get out of Churchdown, as I don't think there are many buses on Sunday from Gloucester Centre. Is that to get to Jadlam, I guess? Yeah. Hobby Lobby carries the older kits cheap. So yeah, Hobby Lobby, yeah, that's like your Hobbycraft. But then Hobbycraft in this country don't stock Airfix anymore because they fell out big style. Yeah.
Got the old Airfix Vulcan Moss.
Oh, you ain't finished it yet, then.
Well, can you see the filler?
Is that the old one, new?
This is the old one.
Oh right.
I've got the new one as well. But, so I'm going to do some side by side. I think I'll do the new one white and that one camouflage to hide all the sins.
Oh, I like that. I do like that. I know it's a filler queen, wasn't it? The old one and the new one. See, I still can't see how that was the kit of the one of the top 5 kit or 10 kits from Hornby. Still don't see how that Vulcan got there.
Rigged election.
It was definitely rigged. That
because if it wasn't on there, they would have had to put a Spitfire on there, and they couldn't do that.
Simon Kohler's retirement present.
Yeah, that was
behind that top 10.
I wonder what will happen when he retires. There's so much hate in the Hornby community, isn't there? Just at Hornby themselves. And I don't understand a lot of it. Some of it I get. But I don't know whether it's just me, but I notice in this little clip there, and they just bang on about a brand, and some of it's so unfair and unjust. You think that as well, don't you, James? You think it's a bit unfair, some of the stuff aimed at Airfix and that?
So it is unfair the hate that gets directed to Hornby, but you can understand why.
Yeah,
because people want them to do well, and they moan about the green and the rivets, the shape of a funnel, and my god. But then you look at another manufacturer, which is called KR Models.
Yeah,
who have just been produced. They've decided to produce sort of less about the niche market, locos.
Yeah,
and they've done it, and they've got loads of stick from it. They've got absolute hate for basically an engineering sample. It's being painted. It's the wrong shade of bloody pink.
Yeah,
on there, so it's ridiculous.
I don't know. I do think scale modelers are a fickle bunch. You know, I think we can get too engrossed in it all. But I just say, looking on my shelf, one side is Airfix. Okay, I'm not going to deny it. One side is Airfix, but this other side, I've got Hella Academy, Hasegawa, a little bit of Smur, which is old kits, obviously. I've even got an in-pack kit, which is so old. I've never heard of the model until I bought it. Tamiya, Revo, Italeri, Mr. Craft. I've got some Frog up there as well. You know, it is what it is. It's just it's models. but I enjoy it. I really do. Social media equals keyboard warrior hate, sadly. Yeah.
In case people don't know what a rivet is.
Yeah. That's a rivet, is it?
Put it up on big screen.
Yeah.
That's a rivet. Okay?
Yeah.
Life size, yeah.
Yeah. That was used to put Harriers together. And Hurricanes, that one.
Yeah.
So.
And does it really matter if it's, you know, there comes a point where, you know, like I was listening to one of the chats, and one of the designers said he spent 3 days counting rivets, making sure he had the right rivets. Yeah. And some of them need to be raised, some of them need to be recessed. But the reason we like resets resets panel lines is because we can then add texture to them, can't we? That's the only reason. And then they moan about the size of them. They would be like trenches if it was blown up. But then if they were any thinner, one whisk of your sanding stick and the detail would have gone. And there won't be enough trench there, because once you put your layers of paint on, you won't have a recessed panel line to put any wash in it. So, yeah, I do get that, you know, argument. I just think it's a little bit sad. Here you go. Jerry's written, Chilly Billy, you're in the States. I'm in Scotland, UK. I think you guys have the advantage over us in terms of size of the market. Yeah. How long did it take you to build up your stash? Since I've been scale modeling. As soon as you get more than one kit, that's a stash, isn't it? Surely. Anybody agree with that? If you have more than one kit, that's a stash?
Yeah.
Depends if you're working on both of them.
Yeah.
If you have something unbuilt, you've got a stash.
If you've got one more kit than what you're working on, that's a stash, isn't it?
I find it interesting because in the world of wargaming and war hobbies and that tabletop gaming and stuff, they call it a pile of shame or a stash of shame. And it's something for them that they're ashamed about buying more kits and having them and not painting them or using them and gaming with them. And as if it's something to be ashamed of. Like, you know, I look at my stashes, I'm going to get round to building these. They're like, look at my stash, I should have built and painted them already. And I just don't understand the logic behind that.
Yeah.
It's kind of baffling to me that you would buy kits and have them in a stash and be ashamed that you've not built them already. I don't get it.
No, I don't get it. See, for me, I buy a kit with the intention of building when I feel ready to build it. You've got to be in certain mindset to build certain kits, haven't you? I personally am a lazy modeler. If it takes more than 2 weeks, I get bored of the kit. A month, and it will end up back on the box, and then I'll pull it out again a year later, and then have another crack at it. Like, you know, I'm a bit like that, and I see a lot of people say the same. You know, I bet which one is it? The tar pits? Which is the one that James? Which is the boat that you're on about that you're going to build?
Yamato.
The Yamato, sorry, not the tar pits. The Yamato. The amount of people I know that have got that kit, but they've never even looked inside the box. But I can't, you know, I'm looking at that Queen Mary that I was given, you know, and it's quite a chunky boat. And I look at it and I just think it's just too big for my workbench. I can't be asked building it. But I've got it in the stash in case one day I do have a bench big enough and time to give it.
Well, Mosh, you know the solution. When you buy a ship kit, you build the workshop around the ship.
Oh yes.
So you have a workbench that's big enough for the ships.
Yeah.
Which is what I've done.
because one of my biggest regrets is I built my own spray booth, and it's not big enough. But I built it to the size of the extraction fan that I bought on Facebook. You know, it's an expensive extractor fan system, but I should have gone bigger. Really, I'd have to, you know, because sometimes, you know, this here is just that's about the size I could get in there, comfortable. But when you're trying to do all the angles and twist it around, it just doesn't work. But I wish I went bigger. I wish I went bigger with that one. Definitely. Let's look at some of the comments in the chat. You got any questions? Do ask us. So I think we've gone over the stash bit now. We need to find some other subject to talk about. Get another extractor and put them side by side. I wish I could get another extractor. They don't make them no more. I'm struggling to get the filters now for them. That's how bad it's got. What I tend to do is when I get the filter, I peel off the layer at the front and turn it around.
Yeah.
So,
I've had a thought. I've had a thought for the question. How big's your shelf of Doom stash?
What kits you're never going to build?
No, which kits you started and got bored with, and they're sitting in a box somewhere. How many kits have you got?
I've got 3, and one of them, well, 2 of them. No, one of them, sorry, is a Flyby Q400 that was made by a Russian company, and I've never got to finish it. It's in the box up here, actually. I'll go and get it so you can have a laugh at me. I think it's that one there. I've never finished it. Oh. Made by Eastern Express.
All the ones who do the X-Frog kits.
Yeah. And there you go. That's how far as I got with it. It was you see why I had to fill the seam lines because they were just terrible. Absolutely terrible. But I've it's unfortunate I never got round to finishing this one. I think I was going to have to do it in flight mode and put a stand on it because the undercarriage was crap on it on the front. Oh yeah, I remember now. The front undercarriage there. You see all the filler I've put in it. It's an awful kit, but I just never got round to finishing it. But the decals are fantastic. Really nice decals on them. You've got 2 sorts. So you got that one there, which is just because you can spray this one purple, so you can't really use these ones on here, the white ones for the purple. But yeah, you know, and I paid a lot of money for it as well. That's the unfortunate thing. Was I did pay quite a few quid for it as well because of it came from Russia. Or no, well, it come from the Eastern Bloc basically. So, yeah, I just never got around to finishing it. The other one that I never got around, which is upstairs, is a glider. I never finished. I did 2 gliders. I can't remember which one it was now. Will that go in there? No, it won't even fit in there. See, this is the problem. So you got 2 little holes there for this, but it won't fit in because it overhangs. So it's this little funky stuff like that. It's just so annoying on this kit. You try and get it to fit in.
It's proper modelling, Moz.
Oh, it's not proper modelling.
Don't blame the kit, dry fit, right?
Yes, exactly. I spent more time dry fitting it than I did gluing it together. You'll fuck off. Honestly. It was a nightmare from the start. So much flash on it. Because I don't mind flash, but when you've got a little part the size of a gnat's dick, and you have to scrape away all of the flash, right? And you end up breaking the part because the flash is actually the one thing that's keeping that thin bit together. That's when you get really fecked off about it.
But don't you notice when you've cleaned all the flash off, the part breaks on the last bit of flash?
On the last bit, that's the problem.
That's because the flash has been actually supporting it.
Yes.
It's also the only thing I got on my shelf of doom. That's also an Eastern Express, but that's Brandenburg Hansa's First World War plane, 1/72 scale.
And it was that shit as well, was it?
Yes, definitely. But it's
don't blame the kids.
Yeah, but I'm going to build it soon. But it's on hold because I needed some mojo build, so that's why I'm building the Phantom.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I'm a lazy builder, but I will state that even when the kit looks fresh and everything, I always dry fit. You have to. You've got to dry fit, and then even on this Concorde, I dry fitted everything.
That's a golden rule, isn't it?
Your head's got to be in the right place to finish a kit.
Yeah, it does. And also, where do you stop, Sully? Where do you actually stop? Because you don't seem to stop. You keep adding and adding and adding, don't you, mate? He's on mute.
Gone.
You've muted yourself, Sully.
Hello.
Nice and quiet.
So I didn't even know I'd done that. No, I don't know. It's just, I think sometimes you just know when you need to stop. Really, I think
the model tells you when.
Yeah.
He's gonna look up at you and say, "No more paint. I'm melting inside." Is that what he does? When you put weathering dust on it, it's like, oh, you know.
That's a good question in the chat, Moss. Most expensive kit in the stash.
Most expensive? What in value?
Oh, most expensive that you spent, or the most expensive that it currently is selling for? Because I feel like that's two different.
Yeah, I want to say.
I think what you spent for it, because that's what you bought it for.
Well, I suppose it depends if you include the any aftermarket stuff as well, doesn't it?
Right.
Yeah. I've got the Spitfire, which was £94. I've got the Vulcan, which was 70 odd quid. I don't know. I got an old. I can't say this, but you know, I collect Airfix anyway. Like I collect their toys and stuff as well. Like this came this week, the Airfix Switch Away game. Yeah, you know, I collect all that. I've got an original Airfix motor racing scale electric style track.
Yeah,
it's worth about 250 quid. Working. But other than that, I think I it's very rarely I spend more than 100 quid on a model. I don't think I won't be buying that Rebel 131. Was it 132 scale kit they're bringing out? Alex has got a kit there. What did you pay for that?
There we go. 1/72 scale trumpeter blackjack. TU-160.
How much you pay for that?
Too much. And I bought this probably 20 years ago.
Yeah. Wow.
It's huge.
That's 172, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, that's half of the fuselage. It's a full box, let's say that.
Yeah.
I think it was about £120 about 20 years ago.
Crumbs. And you've never even started to build it?
That's his pension.
Yeah.
That's my investment. My plastic retirement.
Wow. You never even thought about building that kit?
I thought about it.
What's stopping you?
I think, like others have said, being able to do it justice and having the room.
Yeah.
So it's only really since I've been here that I've got the modelling space to attempt it, like with the Spitfire.
It's like I was on a chat one night doing like a private live stream for the channel members, and we were looking at the Antov 220? That big.
Oh, 225, yeah.
225. That's like 200 odd quid, in 172 scale. And they'll do it, and I was like, yeah, but where are you gonna put it after you build it?
Because we were talking on Monday, on Thursday, isn't it? On the 350th scale John Kennedy. Howard Carrier, which is like a meter long.
Yeah. What'd you do with it? So
small. It's a tiddler.
How big is that Yamato?
53 inches long, I think.
Yeah, and I told the missus
it's taller than my mum. The box is taller than my mum.
But am I right that the actual the hull and everything is all one piece?
No, it's two pieces.
2 pieces. 53 inches. Fucking hell. Wow. General question. Or what was it? There you go. General question. Each of us got to answer this one. Which currently unavailable kit would you most like to get your hands on?
Ooh. I actually just was able to. There's a kit I've always wanted that I was just able to get just today. It arrived.
Yeah.
It's the original Jurassic Park Explorer from the first movie. When the first movie came out, this was actually discontinued before the movie was even out of theaters.
Really?
And yeah, so I've been wanting it. I can never find it for less than like $200 USD, and I was able to find it for 80 with shipping. That was very much a ask for forgiveness purchase, not ask for permission. But that's one I've been wanting for so long.
Good for you.
What about you, James? What kit is out of production that you would like?
Well, I've got the kit that's out of production. I've got the De Havilland and the Sea Vixen. It's part built.
You still? Oh yeah, you still about
Airfix
that.
Sea Vixen.
Yeah. Do you reckon they'll bring that back?
Hopefully they will.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's a beautiful kit.
Does it go well together?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Alex? Any kit that you like to see back?
Yeah. I'd like the 148 scale Airfix TSR2. I didn't pick one up at the time. And,
don't go there, mate. Every time I see that bird, I'm like, fuck's sake. Every time I see it, I'm like, fuck. Because I bid on one the other week. £82 it went for on eBay.
Yeah.
Fucking eBay.
I've got a 72nd scale resin one, but which came out before the Airfix one. But yeah, that's going to be a big to build. Resin
is a nightmare. What about you then, Tam? What have you got? Any kit that's out of production that you like to build?
The Revel Red October. Unfortunately, I think it's something like 750 scale, but it's still like that big because it's effing huge.
Yeah.
But, it's like rocking or shit. You can't find it. And if you can, it's in America and it costs like 100 quid to buy and then like 25 quid shipping on top of it. So there's no way I'm paying that for a submarine kit with about 12 parts in it. So
I was going to say it's 2 halves stuck together, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. There's not much to it, and it's only because it was produced in the 90s and it's out of production now that it costs so much. So not because it's actually a decent kit or anything. It's because it's a proper buyer's market for that kit and for the rest of the kits they did in that series as well. Yeah. They did the aircraft carrier, they did the Dallas, they did Sea King helicopter, they did the F-18 Hornet, and I think one of the other Corvettes that was in the film as well. And they did it all as a series. following the release of the film. I mean, you can find the others pretty much quite cheaply and quite easily. Just the Red October model kit, you just can't find it, and if you can, it's stupidly priced. So
yeah, it's pretty much all the same reasons why that Explorer was so expensive.
Yeah. What about you then, John? What's any kits that's out of production that you wish that you could build or buy?
I'm not sure. None come to mind. I wouldn't mind at some point doing, like a big, I don't know, like a B-17 or something like that, but not not the old monogram one. A high quality B-17 would be great.
Don't tell me you do one.
HK do one.
What, HK? Yeah.
Yeah, it's HK, and Nigel says it's crap, but or not very good. I tend to trust his. I tend to trust his opinions. But no, nothing really, Moss.
Fair enough. Dave, what about you? Anything that's out of print that you like to see and build?
Oh yeah, definitely. The Dennis Fisher R2D2 from 1977.
Oh,
yeah.
And even the 3PO. But like they're silly money. They're like 95 quid upwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish they'd reissue those. It'll never happen.
Well, I don't know who owns the tooling now. That's the problem. Who owns the tooling?
Pass. But yeah, they're the one. That would be my all-time kit.
Yeah. You're right in what you're saying. It's very difficult. When you look back in your youth, it's like, when I would love to have the opportunity to build the original Airfix Ferguson tractor, but the tooling is no more. But you kind of think to yourself, well, why not? Why can't you rebuild the tooling or make the tooling again? That would be a good one if they could do that. They have got the original tractor in Hornby's Margate Centre, but I'm so chuffed the Bond Bug's coming back, because that's one that I'd love to build, is the Bond Bug.
Yeah.
What was the one I was looking at the other day, which I would like to build from Airfix? Let me just quickly go through. I've got a list of stuff actually that I want to build if it come on. Hang on a minute. Let me just. I've got to find it. So yeah, the Bomb Bug is straight up there. The Airfix. What's it called? The what was that? The what's it called? Captain Scarlet. Which one did they do for Captain Scarlet? The
Mr. Ons?
No, it was the Angel Interceptor. The Spectrum
Angel Interceptor.
Yeah.
Destiny Angels Fighter.
Yeah. I'd love them to bring that one back. Do you reckon they might?
Doubtful.
Yeah.
Doubtful. Even the reboot of Captain Scarlet didn't do very well.
Didn't it?
No, not at all.
If they did, it would only be as a vintage classic, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Oh, they got the license for it. That's the problem.
Or was it one of the kits that Hella got when they split?
I don't know. I reckon they still got it, but they won't say, will they, bastards?
It's like they did a cloud base, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah, it was a limited release. cloud base.
Yeah.
But Captain Scarlet never really took off originally, let alone the re-release.
Yeah.
It did more in the States than it did here in the UK.
Right. I'd like to see the Frog Fairy Delta 2 re-released again. Because I was only noticing Dora Models were going to bring one out, but they never did they? Of that FD2. That would be a nice kit. I like that Fairy Delta. I think it's a lovely looking bird, that. Yeah. There's a lot of kits that you will never see the light of day again. Like the Townsend, the ship, what was it called? The Free Enterprise.
Herald
They've
of Free
lost
Enterprise.
that. Yeah, they've lost that kit. Airfix have the original kit. So if you know someone who's got that, that's worth about £300 or £400 because it used to be the bomb bug, but they're bringing that back, baby. So you're not going to be able to sell that kit for £350 on eBay anymore. Yeah.
Awesome.
92's just said Dora still have it planned, but the owner is actually fighting on the front lines. So, is that right?
Yeah, I actually met him.
You met the owner of Dora Models?
Yeah, he come into work once.
What was he looking at?
I can't remember. To be honest, it was a while ago now. I think it was just general stuff at the time.
Have you ever built a Dora Models? I've never built Dora Models.
No.
Oh, the Liberator from Blake 7, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cool ship.
That is a cool ship.
Even though the program was rubbish, the ship was brilliant.
How dare you?
Oh, it was. It was atrocious. Even as a kid, I thought it was atrocious.
I used to love that as a kid.
The ships were brilliant.
I remember I had a little, I think it was a Dinky or Corgi metal one.
Corgi.
Corgi, was it?
Yeah, it was a Corgi. It had the green dome in it, didn't it?
Yeah. I think I've still got it somewhere.
I tell you another one I'd like to build, the Airfix. It's part of their train range, but Airfix did a BR Lomac 14 ton, but on top of it, it had a JCB3 excavator. I would have loved to build that if they ever brought that tooling back, but I doubt they will. That was cool. I haven't seen it since.
Tell you what, my brother many years ago had a kit by Revell.
Yeah.
And it was the entire launch platform, including the shuttle and booster rocket set. That was a full-size box kit.
Really?
Yeah, that was packed full of stuff. And I think they also did an oil rig as well.
Trying to think, the oil rig.
Yeah, there is an oil rig. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
They did
Ranger, I think it's called.
Yes. They did a space shuttle and boosters on a Caterpillar
on the crawler
transporter thingy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it actually had all the tower and everything with it.
Wow.
They actually do still have that over at the Kennedy Space Center. Last time I went, I saw it. Yeah. Last time I went there, I saw they had a couple of them, and if I had any semblance of money that day, it would have come home with me.
Yeah, they're not cheap. You're looking about 200 quid, I think.
Yeah.
Mark F just said Blake 7 was brilliant until you see it now.
Oh God, yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like, do you remember the Mysterious Cities of Gold? The cartoon of back in the 80s? Do you remember that cartoon? Well, I spent 20 quid to buy and watch the season on Amazon Prime. And I got to the 3rd episode and I was like, what is this pile of wank that I'm watching? It is absolute dog shit. Children of the sun, it is time we have some fun. I'm like, fucking hell. I used to get home from school on a Thursday to watch this shockingly shite program. But anyway, I paid me monies. I watched to the very end. And the bloke Sebastian, his father was at the end of it, and he never even met his father. Didn't even know it was his father who died for him. I'm like, what a shit ending. Dungeons and Dragons.
Still, you bought it.
Died, you know, and boom. Honestly, some of the stuff, mind you, Thundercats, that's good.
Oh, Thundercats. Oh. Hey, that's not dated either. It's still good to this day.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. Well, I remember that. I just, I thought,
the reboot, on the other hand.
Yeah.
The reboot's pathetic.
2011, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised that Captain Scarlet, because I thought it looked really good on the telly. Like, I watched a couple of episodes with my uncle.
It was a big flop over here.
Was it like in America? Any good in America?
It took off in America in a big way, yeah. But it failed over here, which is a shame because it was English made. And then the American conglomerate that purchased the rights to it said enough's enough.
Yeah.
And then the biggest flop of all, which was a shock to me, I didn't know. I mean, I remember going to the cinema to see it, was Thunderbirds, the movie.
Yeah.
It was a big flop here. Huge failure.
Yeah. See, I didn't know that until the other day when I was looking at the Fab, the Rolls Royce. In Thunderbirds, it wasn't Rolls Royce, was it? It was a Ford.
Yes.
Wonder if there's a scale model for that. No.
Anyways, there probably is.
Yeah.
But it's it's Japanese market only.
Space 1999. The first series did very well. But when they did the second series with Maya, it failed.
Yeah, they had the serial killer involved in that as the producer.
Yeah.
Fred Freiberger.
Had issues with it, didn't they?
Yeah. He's the guy who created Spock's brain. The legendary third series episode of Star Trek. Again, they killed the series after that.
Yeah.
So they called Fred Freiberg the serial killer.
Anyways, right, it's 10 o'clock, folks. We've had 2 hours on here. We've gone through our stashes and we've opened up what we've got and what we haven't got. Thank you all who have joined us on the panel tonight. Alex, you got a chap who kept asking to come on. Do you know much about him? Bozzo, is he called?
Oh, Bozzo, he's one of my channel members.
All right, we'll have a chat about that, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if he's listening, we'll have a chat about it, all right? He's going to be invited on here, all right? Just because it's a risk, isn't it, Anyway, thanks all for joining us tonight. We'll be back next Monday, and we're going to talk about, I want to have a good discussion, really, about modern conflict and scale modeling, because it's interesting. After talking to Alex on one of the podcasts, I think it was in between podcasts, about the way that scale modeling, some manufacturers are shying away from modern conflict, while some manufacturers are embracing it, especially the Ukraine situation. So I thought I'd have a chat about that next week. So hopefully we'll get some good info from you guys. So mull it over. Do you agree with it or disagree with it? But I thought I'd put it out there. So next week we're talking about modern conflict and scale modeling. All right. Anyway, folks, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next Monday. Take care, all.
Bye.
Bye.